Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Mike Martins here from the Mike Martins channel. Hope everybody's doing well. I have a very special guest on with me for the first story of the first part of the show. I want to thank everyone for tuning me. The date today is the 12th day of August 2018, and the year is disappearing. And somebody is calling me here on the other line, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Because we have my man, my main man, Hiroshi from Vancouver live.
Hey, how's it going, Mickey?
Good night, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
You know, I'm doing good. You know I'm always doing well, right? So, today I called you for a specific reason, and I need to know... I'm just going to tell people what we're talking about. And we're talking about... Protesters gather as Sir John A. MacDonald statue is removed from Victoria City Hall. Now, before we kick it off with Hiroshi, I just want you to know, Sir John A. MacDonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada. One of his major achievements was completing the railroads and completing Canada from coast to coast. And he is also found on the $10 bill. John A. MacDonald is also known as one of our founding fathers. So now they're taking his statue down in Victoria. So,
yeah, it's really upsetting, Mikey. It's wrong, man. I mean, he's a part of our history, right? And they don't have any moral authority to do that, in my mind. So they're just basically... like, pretty criminal, if you ask me. Like, that's just something, you know, it's part of our history, man. It's part of our heritage. There's no legitimate reason to do that. It's going to cost the city and the government a ton of money, right, to do that. And that money is, who pays for it? It's the people. So we're going to get charged out of our taxes to pay to remove a statue that's been there for decades.
1982.
History. It doesn't make any sense.
The 635-kilogram bronze statue installed in 1982 was cut with a saw under its limestone base. The metal rods holding it down severed. It was removed with much more care and attention. So, and a lot of people, listen to this, okay, Hiroshi? The final leg being lifted and transportation of the statue was accompanied by people singing the refrain, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye.
Yeah, it's retarded. It's the same crap they did in, you know, what it is the radical leftists, man. The radical leftists, which are basically communists, they're basically just trying to, like, change history. They're trying to rewrite history, trying to pretend Canada, you know, isn't a country, or Canada doesn't have a history. That's what they're doing, man.
So, okay, what difference does it have if I say to you, okay, Hiroshi, because the English were colonists and they were cruel, we're going to remove the English language from Canada?
The thing is, like, there's history that, you know, arguably is not good history for every culture, every race, every person, every country. So, like, it doesn't make any sense to destroy that history. I mean, just because that statue is there doesn't mean, oh, you know, everyone that likes the statue must be racist or something. That's not it at all. It's also a reminder, right? Like, it's a reminder of history, a reminder of things that happened before. It's not something they should remove.
But okay, so... Isn't it like removing our official language from our country because the English were colonists? Isn't it the same thing?
I guess. I mean, the official language is kind of BS anyway, because, like, Richmond, like, go down to the night market in Richmond, nobody speaks English there, man. You go to, like, some of these markets and everyone speaks Chinese, all the signs are in Chinese. I mean, the official language to me is pretty bullshit.
Yeah, well, to be very frank, I just want to be frank with you about this John A. MacDonald thing, because removing that, I mean... What are they going to start saying? English is a bad language? You get what I'm saying? Or let's take down the Canadian flag because it represents his. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. You know, it's just some crazy radical leftists that are trying to make a point or something. But it's stupid and it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money and it's unjustified.
How much is it costing?
I mean, wasting taxpayer money. That's like a pretty bad thing to do, and that's exactly what they're doing.
So, how much is it costing us, Hiroshi? You gave me a figure earlier.
Like over $500,000, man. It's going to cost a lot of money to remove it.
Okay, because it's been removed here. They have it removed. It's fully removed right now, and it's been taken away.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm very upset about that. Victoria's crazy. crazy mayor, man. Crazy activist mayors.
Yeah, I saw that mayor. I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay, okay, all right, I'm getting it. So, yeah. So let's read about a little bit here about MacDonald, who served as prime minister for nearly 2 decades until his death in 1891, has long been celebrated by some for his role as a driving force behind the Confederation more than 150 years ago. His name or likeness is on highways, buildings, schools, and streets across the country. And he is the most Canadian on most Canadian wallets on the $10 bills. But his policies were also responsible for the creation of the residential school system, which for over a period of roughly 100 years took nearly 150,000 Indigenous children from their families and placed them in boarding schools, where the Truth Reconciliation Commission found child neglect was institutionalized. The program announced a cultural genocide, the commission concluded. So, I mean, like, I know George Washington from the United States. I know he held slaves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was, you know, are they going to remove him from the dollar bill and the Washington Memorial and remove all his remnants in history?
They might. They're crazy enough.
Well, because
the leftists don't realize that, like, history doesn't stop existing just because you remove a statue.
You know, so someone in the comment section saying, oh, because of residential schools, give me an effing break. So someone's not too happy in the comment section right now that one of the Canadian founding fathers, who basically spent his entire life fighting for Canada, you know, the Dominion of Canada was called at the time. So, Sir Johnny MacDonald, so get into the in-depth with us, Hiroshi. You like getting into in-depth conversation. So give us a little bit of a rundown. Why is this happening underlying? What's the underlying thing behind this? Yes, I see the photograph here, plain as day. A bunch of guys standing with their arms crossed, all peed off, and very happy that the statue's getting taken down. But if it wasn't for Johnny MacDonald, these guys probably wouldn't be standing there. So what is underlying? What's driving this hate? Or what's getting people to relive historical events that doesn't have nothing to do with them, and rehashing things that has nothing to do with them? They're not seeing things through a historic lens, and they don't know how things were at the time. Maybe tell me what you think is underlying this, the main reason driving this.
That's a good question, Mike. I'm not too sure, really. I just don't agree with it, man. I'm not too sure why, because, like, they're crazy people. Like, they don't make any logical sense. The leftists, like, so I think really it's just they're stupid people that think they can change history by, like, getting rid of statues, and that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they're copying what they did in Soviet Russia, because they did the same thing in Soviet Russia.
Yes, they did. But okay, Hoka, okay. But Cuba got some sort of, like, there's changes in Cuba, but they didn't take down the Che Guevara statue and the Castro statue. Nothing changed, even though there's, I guess, democracy heading to Cuba.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, man. It's stupid.
So where do you think when is this going to end? What do you think they're going to do? Now remove the $10 bill? Remove him from the $10 bill?
Could be.
Because how does this make you feel? How do you feel about this, like, inside when you heard about this? Because I know the first time I saw this story, I thought of you.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
And?
That's it, man. It's just really upsetting. I don't know what else to say.
Do you propose them put it back? Or put it somewhere else?
They could.
Someone's commenting on the comment section, says the Americans invaded Iraq and statues were pulled down. But you know those statues were actually staged when they were pulled down. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. But that was actually staged. But so where do you see Canada heading with this left? Do you see the left dying off, or do you see the left growing stronger?
Well, there's a lot of leftists in Canada. Canada's kind of like California in that sense. It's like just stupid, you know?
So do you think this is a sickness that people have? Like I would have never imagined, hey, let's go find old statues and protest to take them down. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree. It doesn't make any sense.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Anything else you want to talk about, Hiroshi, while I got you on the line? Anything happening?
Not too much, man. I gotta get back to some work here, but good talking to you, man. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Thanks for talking to me, bud. I really appreciate it. Thanks for... Have a good night, guy.
No worries, bye.
So, guys, that was Hiroshi from Vancouver there. I got him on his lunch, like, break, late evening break. He's got some work to do, but I'm trying to get out of him what he thinks about this. I talked to him earlier, and he was mad. He was swearing, and he was freaking out. And I said, okay, hold on to this. Let's put this on the stove, but I need you to be PG. I guess when we went live, he kind of mellowed out a bit. I think he was holding back huge on this one because I know he's not happy. I know he's not happy. I know he's not happy. So taking down the statues here is phenomenal. I don't even know, like, you know, I don't even know what to tell you guys. Exito says, as I posted on your page earlier, this is all part of Agenda 21, opt to bring down the New World Order, and that is about power and control. Walking Journey, you want to call in, buddy? You want to call me? Oh, let me call you. Let me call you, buddy. I know you can't call me here, so I'll call you, buddy. So we're going to get Walking Journey on the phone. He's down in Texas, and he's been informed of what happened up here in Canada.
Hello.
Who the hell is this?
Walking Journey, Mr. Anthony, your guest host here. How you doing, Mike Martin?
I'm doing good. So, what's going on, Anthony? You saw me on the phone with Hiroshi there down in Vancouver. You are down in Conroe, Texas. What do you think of Canada removing its founding father away from the Victoria capital there in downtown BC?
It's all there just to rewrite history. Canada, just like the United States, is under a foreign occupation by foreign powers. And it's all there just to rewrite history, and they're hoping for people to forget where they came from. And it's like I said in one of my videos, about 3 videos ago, I spoke about immigration, and the whole key to that is to subdue the population and for them to become the tail and for them to become the head. And that's what they're doing. They want to rewrite culture, the food, everything. They want to take away what makes Canada great and make it like the rest of the world, because the whole end game is to get the U.S., Western civilization, get rid of Canada, or any Western civilization, just get rid of it, to plunge the rest of the world, including the Western countries, into what I believe is a dark age economically. And there's just some evil people in charge, man. That's just the story behind it.
So, okay, I want to ask you, if let's say there was a Washington Memorial in California, do you think that, because California is very heavily leftist, do you think they'd take down the Washington Memorial there in California?
I don't doubt it one bit if they would, man. You know how these people are, man. They're not... And you know the crazy thing about it? It seems like the left always gets what it wants.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know if it's just me.
Or
I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where you're coming from with this. So the left always gets what they want, and what... Okay, so you're down in Conroe, Texas. What's going on down there? Do you see a lot of Californians moving there, or what's happening in... is there a huge left movement or Antifa movement down in Texas?
I believe so, sir, because last time I was working in downtown Houston, there was like a big, giant... I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I have to say, but I've seen a lot of leftist parades and protests, and mostly down in Houston, because Houston is a very liberal county. Up here in Montgomery County, don't really see it. It's one of the most conservative states. I mean, counties. I apologize. Counties in Texas. Our senator is Ted Cruz. So,
yeah.
But down in Houston, you see a lot of that. Oh, Mike, is that okay with you, man? Can I read you a Bible verse that speaks about stuff like this?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 20, verse 43 to 44, not to offend those who don't want to hear Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the foreigners living among you will become stronger and stronger, while you become weaker and weaker. They will lend you money to you, but you will not lend to them. They will be the head. They will be the head. That's the main word.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be the tail. So this whole open border policies, letting foreign bankers into your country, just bringing all these foreign investors, like you told me before, Mike, they're driving up the housing market. Suddenly you can't even buy a house anymore. Only the foreigners can buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
So you become the tail. So this is what they're preparing the infrastructure and the culture for the foreigners, and they're trying to throw you in the back of the seat. That's how I see it. I might be wrong, Mike. So I don't know what you got to say about that.
Well, it is definitely an economic buyout right now. A majority of the Canadian proper is basically in a tailspin right now when it comes to finances. A lot of people borrowing on their equity with second mortgages, HELOC mortgages, taking out equity from their homes to help sustain their lifestyles. And a lot of people are in a lot of financial trouble right now in Canada, and they don't even know it. A lot of people don't even know it. And I think a lot of people are going to wake up to a very, very rude awakening when it comes to what's happening in the financial sector. But when it comes to taking down one of our founding fathers, I mean, like, my main concern now, are they going to remove him from the $10 bill? Because I'm afraid of that, because, you know, every time I see the $10 bill, I remember him, right?
I don't know if I know there was a movement here like about a year and a half ago. You might have heard on Coast to Coast AM. That's where I heard it from, George and Ori, where they were gonna remove Jefferson from the $20 bill and put in a black slave, a black slave from back in the days.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing here, man. So
yeah, I don't think it's Tom. I think it's a $20 bill.
One more Bible verse that pertains to all this. It says Numbers 33, verse 55. But if you fail to drive out the people who live in the land, those who remain will be like splinter in your eyes and thorns in your side. Now listen to this. They will harass you in the land where you live, and I will do to them. Well, let's just leave it like that. They will harass you. So it's a foreign occupation. It's all part of a big plan, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We really don't know their true intention. And it's getting bad, Mike. We gotta, like I say, it's drive the people out of the land. We have to be really, really, really cautious and ready to fight, man, because what would our founding fathers do today if they were to raise from the dead? What would they do?
Yeah. Well, they turn in their graves if they knew. A lot of these guys that went and fought in these wars, and they knew they weren't fighting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them would turn in their graves and just be like, I can't believe it. I can't believe what is happening. So the 635 kilogram bronze statue was installed in 1982, was cut with a saw under a limestone base with metal rods holding it down severed, and was removed with much care and attention, and it cost them $500,000 in taxpayers' money to remove the statue, buddy.
And I'm sure that whoever wanted to get it removed is not paying for it. I'm sure it's under taxpayer money. I'm really sure about it.
You know what they should do? If they want to remove it, they should get these people here in this photograph that were protesting to take it out. A lot of these people should have paid for it, for the removal. Not me. I'm not paying to remove that statue. Now, what are they going to do?
Most likely I'm sure they all live on government assistance, hate the government, hate the world, and then they want to make everybody else miserable. My thing is, it's kind of amazing, Mike. Like, you're Portuguese, right?
Mm-hmm.
My family is from Latin America, and we're pissed off about it. But it seems like the residents, the descendants of all these people that founded the country, they're not even upset or angry. They're too busy about financing the next car, trying to get an expensive mortgage, and they're worried about other stuff, eating at McDonald's or, you know what I mean? It's like, what's wrong with people, man? It's like people have lost their heart, their mind, their soul.
Yeah, people are not, I don't know. It's like yeah, soul. It's soul. It's soul. It's exactly what you said. Soul. They're losing their soul. And remember what Tyler Durden said in the movie Fight Club? The things that you own end up owning you. So
this is like exactly what Christ Jesus said. It's almost the same thing. He said, "Where your treasures are, there your heart will be." It's almost the same thing, right? It kind of felt the same to me.
Yep. So
amazing, man.
So Steve the Plumber's Steve the Plumber's in Vancouver. Hopefully he'll come up and visit me.
Visit him, Steve the Plumber. I see him in my comment section too, man. Big shout out to you.
Yeah, big shout out to Steve the Plumber. He's going to be coming. Hopefully he comes and visits me at my house. And here's another image of the statue for people watching the show. And for people listening to this on podcast and on other... I don't know who's been transferring my stuff onto some audio-only stuff. I really appreciate that. Big thumbs up to you. I don't know who it is. But there's people that say they listen to me while they're jogging on podcasts. So thanks for doing that. So
Mike, are you gonna? I just bought my own website, Mike. So I'm hoping that you do the same. I haven't uploaded content yet, but I started a website www.thewalkingjourney.com because I'm tired of the censorship, the bullying. I'm hoping, by God's grace, that eventually I'll migrate to my website and get off of YouTube because. I mean, we gotta see the writing on the wall. We gotta create our own platforms. I mean, I don't know what you think about that, Mike.
No, I think it's a good way to substream and get yourself out as many platforms as possible. I'd like to make sure everyone knows that to get yourself out as much as possible. Okay, I got another I found something in this article. I want to say this. Okay, hold on. After much debate and public controversy, Halifax's City Council voted in January to remove the 85-year-old statue of British General Edwards Cornwallis from a city park. Cornwallis, who is widely regarded to be the father of Halifax, issued a bounty for McKim scalps in 1749. So here he is here, Edward Cornwallis. So they want him they want his statue also removed. Here he is.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, in Halifax. So they want him gone. They want his statue gone. Yeah, he was the sixth son of Charles IV. And
I gotta say...
Yeah.
All I got to say to that is, during the 2018 midterm elections, voting all Republican ticket, 2020, Make America Great Again, Trump 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going to happen in Canada, but I don't know who the candidates you should vote for, but I don't know, but I'm just saying, if you have any Trump-style candidates, vote for them.
Yeah, some of the conservative party candidates here, because... I'm really scared of, I have children, you have children. There's got to be some sort of a way to fix, because we're going back in time now, buddy. We're going into the Stone Age right now.
That's the whole idea. I told it to people. Once you get Western, especially the United States as the head, but once you get the U.S., and then the body away, the rest of the body would be Western civilization. Once you get rid of Western civilization and the United States out of the way, I honestly believe, if you look at throughout history how dark, and I would consider them, the liberals have always been in charge pretty much of humanity for thousands of years. If you just look at the way they've mistreated their citizens, that's what they want to bring it back to. Because, I mean, if you look at it, yeah, there's still dictators in the world, but the U.S. has always been there like a thorn among all these countries and the rest of the world.
Yeah,
and when people see the freedom that America, as an example, people want that. And even America, yeah, they've been involved giving those countries weapons to overthrow their governments. But can you imagine the United States is out of the way and Western civilization? Can you imagine? Just look at throughout history what all these dictators and empires used to do to the people. They'll bring that back in a heartbeat. Trust me, because that's human nature. People are just evil.
Well, you see, the founding fathers in the United States, they made it very clear with the Bill of Rights, with the Constitution, And with the with everything, all the paperwork was so very well dictated, very well written, very well understandable. So there's no way to move words around and if or what. And the founding fathers made it their business that people could carry arms and protect themselves from tyranny and the government. The reason why you could carry arms or have arms or bear arms in the United States is to protect yourself from someone taking your land.
Yeah, and the founding fathers were living through that oppression, those dark ages, and then we hear the stories from their grandparents how the priests of let's say the Church of England will come and you do your wedding with your wife, and then they come to your wedding and they say, well, the church leader or the governor has to sleep with your wife before you get to sleep with her. I forgot the exact name of that practice, but this is something that used to happen in the Dark Ages. So the founding fathers lived through that. So they made sure they put that in the document: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, you don't have to worry about getting killed by the Church of England, the right to bear arms, because what if a king tries to, take over the new country where the people have arms, So it's like, we have it good. We haven't lived through stuff like that. We haven't lived through a Saddam Hussein style regime. So it's easy for say, oh yeah, give them the guns. Oh yeah, give up your freedom of speech. It's easy because we've been having it good, right? That's what I think.
Yeah, well, what's scaring me is, see, the thing is, the founding fathers have it set up that even if the King of England wanted to come to your house, he needs permission to come into your door.
I don't know, Mike. I think we got to put our faith in God and pray, and then just inform all our neighbors, everyone.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will wake up, man. Because the minute you try to say, oh, we got to do this, they'll send the squad to arrest you and imprison you.
Yeah, no, I understand. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna continue. I got more stories here. I gotta continue with. But
all right, everyone. Thank you for listening to my rambling and my rant here. Please support Mike Marks and subscribe, comment, like, and also check me out at Walking Journey on YouTube here. And soon I'll start putting content on my website, Walking Journey, thewalkingjourney.com, www.thewalkingjourney.com. But here on YouTube, Walking Journey. Walking Journey. Yes, have a good one. God bless. Thank you, Mike, for having me on.
Good night. Have a good one. So that is the Walking Journey down in Conroe, Texas. He was in shock earlier today when he found out that the monument of Sir John A. MacDonald was removed. So this hit quite a few news lines down in the southern United States where people are actually talking about this. And it looks like it's a victory for the left. And let's move on here. Cancellation. Alt-right activists Stefan Molyneux and Lauren Sutherland is in limbo after venue backs out of hosting event. So I don't know if you guys know Stefan Molyneux. You got to check his channel out. And I like how the New Zealand calls them alt-right. That's something Hillary Clinton made up in a speech. Now everyone's using it. The alt-right activists, Stefan Molyneux and Lauren Southern, in limbo after venue backs out of hosting the event. So he's one of those great speakers of our time. He goes out. He goes out, speaks, talks, educates, gets people to think outside the box. Now, I need you guys to really think about this, okay? Do you know that everything around you, look around you in your room, look at everything around you. If you're driving in your car or jogging, look at everything around you, minus Mother Nature, but look at everything that's physical, that exists. Everything that exists was a thought at one point. This jacket was someone's thought in their mind. I want to make this jacket. I want to make it like this. I want the buttons to go a certain depth. I want to make sure the sleeves come down a certain bit. This was a thought at one point. This damn jug that holds my lemon water, this was somebody's thought at one point. Somebody thought of this somewhere. Without them thinking, this wouldn't be here. Everything from light bulbs to electricity to the drywall in your house to the insulation to the car you drive. You know how many thoughts went into that car? to make that car? How many thoughts went into the coffee you made this morning? Everything was a thought at one point. And what's happening, people? We're getting into a point where we can't even talk. And if we can't talk, guess what happens to the human race? We go back to the Stone Age. Then Jason Azevedo saying, to add to what Mike is saying, if you told someone we would have smartphones 100 years ago, they would laugh at you. It's all thoughts, guys. A lot of the thoughts we have right now are very theoretical because mathematically we can't do some of the stuff. But it's there, you know, like downloading thoughts out of a human brain. Like a deceased man within 24 hours of his death. They're thinking of a way, theoretically, they could do this, where they could plug in a human brain before it completely dies its cell, whatever, right? I'm not a brain surgeon. But you could take everything off the human brain, all the memories and stuff, and download it. That's what I'm saying. That's a thought right now. And without us thinking that and saying it, you know what I'm saying? The pair of controversial alt-right activists have a message for the Kiwis after a failed speaking tour. Hope you enjoy Sharia. So that's what they said. Cologne Robertson, agent for Lauren Sutherland, I don't know, sent a message to the Herald after Twitter adding it was the official tour response. Lauren Southern and Stefan Molyneux have claimed that the powerful forces prevent them speaking in New Zealand. We had paid, we had an agreement in hand, and the guy who is in charge of the venue was very keen on free speech. It's an open canvas, Molyneux told NewsHub. He knew who we were. He knew what was going on. After emails were sent to the altering people to the venue, something changed, Molyneux said. So here's the protest here.
I have a very clear responsibility as someone as a public figure, as someone with a platform, to use my voice to send a very clear message. Aotearoa does not stand for your messages of racism, hatred, and especially white supremacy.
I'm here now because I have been coming to things like this for over 40 years, because we don't have a choice in this. Some things do need responding to, and fascism is a bottom line which we cannot be liberal about.
We're really firmly against politics of racism and structural violence, and that's exactly what Southern and Molyneux stand for. So we're coming here to show that there's no appeal to this nonsense, and people aren't sucked in by it. So this is a demonstration of strength to show that we absolutely categorically reject them. The fact that no one wanted to house them, I think, is a sign that New Zealand as a whole does not want these kinds of people coming here and spreading their boring ideology.
Okay. Yeah, so hold on, I gotta pause this. This other stupid video's loading here. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay, nobody cares about this next video. We don't care. Yeah, don't load it. Alright. From going from being very enthusiastic about what we were doing to being terrified, hysterical, and downright abusive, something happened in that hour, and we're about to find out why. Southern told NewsHub a radical minority of Kiwis were attempting to decide what the rest of the nation thought. They don't want open inquiry. They don't want questions asked. Their comments come as more than 100 people cheered on the cancellation during the peaceful protest held in Aotea Square this evening. Protester Emily Rackety said that people gathered categorically rejected hate speech, and that message was clear. They couldn't find a single venue to host them. They wanted to give them the platform, and they don't deserve one. Wow. Auckland man Jim Galdwin said he had been attending these kinds of protests for the past 40 years, and it was imperative to speak out against fascism. Yeah, that guy, that old guy. So, yeah, this is tough to read, guys. You know, a lot of this is all one-sided, guys. So play really, because obviously they're not taking the defense from the other side. It's all one-sided, and we're gonna get to what happened to Alex Jones soon. So also with that, so Green Party co-leader Marmara Davidson was among the protesters who said it was responsibility to use her platform to speak out. Aotearoa does not stand for your messages of racism, hatred, and especially white supremacy, she said. Holy smokes, man. Really? Earlier today, power station owner Gabriel Mullins told the Herald and the speakers that he would not be appearing at the Mount Eden venue tonight. We're not having the show, Mullins said.
We didn't exactly know who was coming. As soon as we found out, we're not comfortable at all to have that in the venue, because it goes against quite a lot of things that we say. Certainly freedom of speech is fine, but there's also humanitarian issues, things like that. You can have freedom of speech, but you really need to edit a lot of things that you say, particularly if a wide variety of people that we associate, that are friends with and deal with, do not agree with what they have to say. They can say whatever they want, but personally, I don't want it in my venue.
So there you have it there. The owner of the venue, I guess. She said she did not agree with the two speakers' message. The company had been contacted at short notice about hosting the Southern Molyneux, and she knew nothing about them. After receiving complaints, the venue decided to cancel. It goes against quite a lot of things that we say. Mullins said they can say whatever they want, but personally, I don't want it in my venue. So Lauren says one does not simply walk into a venue in New Zealand. And then Stephen Molyneux says, it turns out that you cannot give a speech about free speech in New Zealand. More details to follow. So, earlier today, people who had paid to attend tonight's event received emails from the promoter confirming Power Station as the venue. We want to thank you for the incredible understanding and patience you've shown, and we have kept the location of the venue secret for as long as possible, the email said. We look forward to the day when venues aren't bullied for daring to be available, and ideas right of Stalin are permitted equal rights to peaceful assembly. On the note, please make sure to rate the below venue 5 stars on Facebook for courage, as the intolerant leftists will be rating them low for no other reason than they had the audacity to host a conservative event. The email ended with the note saying, do not feed the trolls. Do not sink to the level of the violent leftists. There will be plenty of security and police to deal with the troublemakers, but they will remove everyone not behaving appropriately. The last thing we need is for New Zealand's biased media to report both sides behaved badly inside and outside the event. A later email confirmed that the speaking event had been cancelled due to circumstances beyond our control, and all tickets would be refunded within 14 days. Caroline Robinson, an agent for Southern, told NewsHub powerful forces were opposed to the event. He said they could not find another venue. Yesterday, Molyneux and Southern were pictured arriving in Auckland Airport, posing under a Mario carving arrivals hall. So they are posing in the airport there. So this is it, people. They canceled the event. The pair's on again, off again visit to the country sparked a debate about free speech after Auckland Mayor Phil Joff blocked them from using council venues, saying he did not want such spaces used to stir up ethnic tensions. They canceled the trip after the setback, but later reconfirmed plans to speak here after the promoter found a new venue. Protesters had threatened to rally outside the power station venue, and police were seen today conducting a security sweep at the power station, and Butts told Newshub police respected the right to protest at the right of freedom of speech. Our role is to ensure the safety of any member of the public, Auckland City District Chamber of Superintendents Karen Mathis said. We want everyone to be safe, so we asked that anyone attending to turn up to the event acts in a peaceful manner and with consideration for others. I think they're more worried about what people will hear, or what people will start realizing, or what people might start understanding. That's what they're worried about. Immigration Minister Aaron Lee Gallows had said he personally felt their views were repugnant, but there was no grounds to reject their visas. He dismissed claims that they had been banned from other countries, saying that they were prevented from entering for specific purposes. So, they also canceled a women's studies in New Zealand because of all the hate discrimination the classes contain. Wow. So, I accidentally called Lauren Sutherland a he. I didn't mean that. It was by accident. Everyone in the comment section is talking. Wow. That's gotta hurt, man. Like, I don't think this has ever happened anywhere. This is like the first time in a democratic English-speaking country where something was just shut right down. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. And if you actually listen to a lot of the stuff they talk about, it's there's a lot of really good inspiring things. He gives advice to single mom women. He gives advice to people with depression. He gives advice to people having a tough time with family, people suffering with anxiety. You know, there's a lot more than just talking about cultures and stuff. So, anyways, I wanted to bring that up tonight. I wanted to touch on that. Someone's saying, why are you all dressed up tonight, Mike? You looking good? Oh, yeah, thanks, man. It was just a thought. You know, I was thinking... Most of the world's not thinking anymore because they're not allowed to. But I'm thinking. Just a thought, you know? Just thought about it. I'm hot. Well, I'm not that hot. I'm okay. Okay, guys. Now, I want to talk about housing in Australia really quick, guys, if that's okay. If that's okay. So Jason Azevedo's in the comments saying, the media put them in a box, alt-right. They aren't, by definition, alt-right. The media is at war with the people. Yeah. See, the media is supposed to be the watchdog for us. The media is supposed to be watching our politicians. The media is supposed to be watching what's happening behind the scenes. And the media is supposed to be basically our watchdogs. They're supposed to be protecting us. And exposing frauds, exposing corruption, exposing malfeasance, exposing everything. But no, they're not. They're exposing what kind of bra Britney Spears wore to the awards. They're exposing, you know, things that we give no relevance to continue humanity in a positive way. So let's talk about Housing in Australia, guys. This is kind of important. I kind of want to throw this out there. Housing returns hit lowest level since 2012. The capital cities were buying property payoffs. Property pays off. Sorry. House price drop in Australia. Let's watch this video. I hope it's not rated R.
Welcome back to the show. Good news for those looking to get into the property market this morning, with new data showing house prices nationally have fallen for the first time in 6 years.
Joining us now is property expert Dr. Andrew Wilson. Andrew, good morning to you.
Good morning, Georgie.
Tell us, which city reported the largest fall?
Well, look, Sydney had the largest quarterly fall, and also the largest, well, Sydney and Melbourne had the largest falls. And no surprise, really, because the June quarter tends to be underperforming times for the Sydney and Melbourne markets, and that's because you get a lower proportion of higher priced properties being offered for sale. And but certainly Sydney and Melbourne have, after a remarkable period of growth, you've got to remember Sydney's averaged around 14% per annum in house price growth the last 5 years. I'm not sure you get that somewhere else. And Melbourne's around 12%.
People are still nervous. I mean, there's a lot of Australians who have everything tied up with their house. And they're a bit nervous at the moment. But if you play the long game, it's going to be okay. Which cities have seen growth?
Well, look, growth is the smaller capital city markets, which is Canberra and Adelaide, and Canberra and Hobart, which is still strong. Adelaide and Brisbane have been flat, and Perth, which is good news, have had flat results over the June quarter. But we're certainly starting to see perhaps that early revival of spring that we do see every year. This data, of course, is backward looking. It's showing us the 3 months ending June. Latest auction data was quite interesting last weekend. We saw clearance rates at their highest in Sydney and Melbourne for a couple of months, and volumes are starting to rise now. And I think the big question was, will we see a spring revival this year? Of course, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Lending conditions have tightened. Investors have left the market. But we are now starting to see perhaps some signs that we will get that typical bounce back in spring.
You would be the only person in Australia who would say that this morning.
Well, I'm an expert, Carl.
Everyone else is saying
I'm here.
Everyone else is saying it's doom and gloom.
Well,
and
you want the truth, don't you? Not the the sausage, not the sizzle. And I do think that early days yet, we will see a spring revival. It's going to be certainly a flatter spring than we've had for a number of years. But look, let's get the buyers a bit of a look in. And look, the real good news in our property market at the moment are first home buyers. Of course. And look, since the New South Wales and Victorian governments reduced stamp duty in July last year, we've actually seen an increase in 10,000 first home buyers in New South Wales, 8,000 in Victoria. Now, they're really serious numbers. So that great Australian dream has revived, and it's also the other states are finding a lot more first home buyers in the market, and that takes pressure off the rental market as well, which is great news in Sydney.
So just quickly in closing, is now the time to pounce, or would you be holding off a bit? Is it going to drop a bit further in those big markets?
Well, look, winter's a good time to buy always. You get motivated sellers, but there's not a lot of choice. You'll get more choices coming through in the next couple of months, but it's a much more balanced market now. Everybody's having a go, and we should be celebrating what are really good times in the housing market.
See, this is what I love. I love glass full kind of people, and that's why you'll come back to this show, because we're a glass half full brekkie show.
That's even better news, Carl.
And we're especially a glass half full on a Friday, which is not far away now. Good on you, Doc. Thank you so much. Good advice.
There's shocking evidence that
Every time I download something from Clip Converter, it always gives me these pornographic pop-ups when I'm converting YouTube videos. I get these pornographic pop-up notifications. It's nice sometimes, but still, it's like, what the hell? Anyways, okay, so you see how they're massaging the investors? It's gonna, you know, it's a buyer's market. It's you know, motivated sellers. It's all a bunch of crap is what's happening right now. And annual return on bricks and mortar investments, which include both rental and income and capital gains, have fallen 1.9%. So in June 2017, annual housing returns were flying at 14.2%. So housing is dropping in Australia. Everybody knows what's happening. And they're trying... Sydney's down... look, they're all down here on this graph here. Hobart's up because everyone moved to Hobart. It was one of the cheapest places to live. And everybody moved to Tasmania because that was the... Nobody could afford to live in the big city, so everyone left. It's kind of good in a way. So you start building up the still smaller cities get built up, you know, and get more infrastructure, more taxpayers, more job creation, right? So that's kind of good. So this is one of those articles that are there to massage, and with numbers going down, I think it's doom and gloom, like the guy said. The other guy said so. So housing returns to its lowest level since 2012 in Australia. Let's move on. Locked out, Union Waterfront Inc. in receivership. So you're going to see this on a lot of doors, guys. When I was down in South Florida, I saw this everywhere. Locked boxes everywhere. Everything basically... locked boxes everywhere. People losing their homes. Posters on the doors saying that this property has been... whatever by the fire marshal or whatever it was on the door. You would see them everywhere. Look at this, people. Now I want to talk about this. Apple, Facebook, and other tech companies delete content from Alex Jones. And here's the sad part. The really sad part of this, and what's kind of concerning me actually more than anything, is that now he's going to have a hard time fighting back any accusations or lies that get said about him. So they're going to say a bunch of crap about him, and he can't come back and actually defend himself. And on his show, when a lot of other media was making fun of him or creating stories about him or making up lies about him, he would come back and say on his show and say, okay, show me what you're saying about me. Show me the clip, play it. I want to see it because we can't find it. You know what I'm saying? We can't find this clip. So they can't produce a lot of evidence on a lot of the stuff they're making up about him. Now he can't come back and protect himself or cover his nut. His app is still working. But I'm just concerned, you know, he brings up a lot of valid topics that a lot of other journalists won't touch. He brings up a lot of stuff that a lot of other mainstream media outlets won't touch, right? And that's the sad part about it, is that we don't have that right anymore, that kind of right side of things to kind of see. And now with the midterm elections coming up, and yeah, I think they're, because I know Alex Jones played a huge part in gaining Trump's presidency. He was out there promoting him very hard, and I don't know. I just wanted to put this out there because I'm really concerned about what's happening and really concerned about the way things are heading for the right, if you want to call it the right side of news, you know? You know, so someone says in the comments, says Alex Jones is a huge liar and works for the mainstream news outlets, in my opinion, but I can't prove it. And then Old White Guy's in the comment section. Check out his channel, guys. Old White Guy. Hey, this isn't real estate talk. Well, I talked a bit about the housing market in Australia crashing. But, yeah, guys, so if you're just tuning in, go back to the beginning of the show. I was discussing John A. MacDonald's statue being taken down. We had Hiroshi on the phone. And then we had Walking Journey on the phone from Conroe, Texas, who was telling us about his points of views about that statue being taken down here in Canada. And we talked a little bit about Stefan Molyneux being censored in New Zealand. And a little bit of Australian housing crash. And now we're talking about Alex Jones. Love or hate, whatever. They basically deleted 10 years of that man's content, of work, informing. I know in many times, in my experience, listening to him in some points, that he would basically say something and then 2 years later it would happen. He's done it many times. You know. So this whole ban thing just seems to be promoting him more, though. That's from Double A. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is promoting him big time. This is getting him out there, and his app is one of the most downloaded apps right now on Android, and I think on Apple. It's one of the top apps being downloaded right now is the InfoWars app. So I'm just, you know, like, I'm very disappointed, you know. I don't care if he's right or wrong. That's not the point. It's the point of, you know, this could happen to anyone now is what I'm concerned about. So comments are being deleted from lots of comments are being deleted. Someone asking me, Mike, do you think Q is real? You talking about the guy on Star Trek that appeared on the ship out of nowhere and his name was Q? Not sure. But yeah, no, I should have you on my show here, old white guy. What's your number? I'll call you right now. I want to know what you think about this whole John A. MacDonald statue being taken down in Victoria, British Columbia. I had the article up there. Yeah, I like to have old white guy on the phone. I want to know what he's thinking. So Steve the Plumber is one of our moderators here on the channel. Walking Journeys in the comments too. Don't forget to check his channel out. Mike in the Night. Friday night. Saturday night. Sorry, Saturday, Sunday morning for everybody else. Sunday afternoon if you're in Australia. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And I want to get some comments here. Comments. Let's roll some comments, guys. I hope old white guy is listening to me. I'd like to call him and see what he thinks. If he could leave his digits, I'll call him right now and have him on the show. He's a very good, he talks really good, just a very good political speaker when it comes to shaming the government. I gotta keep myself hydrated here. Guys, Mike in the Night. 12th day of July. August 2018. Someone's asking me, where is Bitcoin headed by Gordon Smith? Let's find out. I should have crypto markets on the show too. I like to have crypto markets here. Okay, so Daniel Martinelli says, I noticed Q has promoters that had no content for years and years, and then they thrust in the spotlight. Arrests would prove things, but I don't see any. Okay. Crypto markets slump again with Bitcoin holding gains. Ugh, I don't even know what the hell this says. I don't even know what I'm looking at here, guys. Holy crap. Bitcoin is trading sideways, up by 0.1% the past 24 hours. The cryptocurrency is at the $6,438 price mark as press time, following a dip as low as $6,051 earlier today. After surging to about $8,230 in July, BTC is down 8.5% on the week. However, the coin is still up 1% over the past 30 days. So that's that. So there it is there, people. Holy crap. I want to see the past year. You'll see a huge drop. There's the global charts right there. That won't give me year to date. So there it is up there. Holy smokes and blah, blah, blah. I think we need to check and see, guys, what's Q, man? Everyone's in the comment section talking about Q. Can someone fill me in, man? Old white guy, what's your phone number? I'll call you right now. There's not a lot of people watching live, so don't worry. So Double A saying, my brother used to use Bitcoin to buy weed online. I'm not sure if he still does or does not. Oh, Percy A, hi Mike, how are you? Hope you're having a good night. Tuning in to Mike in the Night. It is Saturday night, guys. Sunday morning for most of the world. Here on the Western Seaboard from Merritt, British Columbia, broadcasting for you guys. 2-hour drive from the Pacific Ocean. QAnon. I don't know who QAnon is. Let's find out. QAnon. Oh. Okay, so this is QAnon refers to a conspiracy theory centered on Q, an online handle used on several image boards by presumably American, pessimist individual or group of individuals claiming to have access to classified information involving the Trump administration and its opponents in the United States. The theory details a supposed secret conspiracy by the deep state against President Trump and his supporters. Q has also accused numerous Hollywood actors, politicians, and other high-ranking officials of engaging in international child sex trafficking ring. The conspiracy theory, mainly popularized by supporters of U.S. President Donald Trump under the names of The Storm and The Great Awakening, has been widely criticized and baseless, unhinged, and evidence-free. Its proponents have been linked to dangerous conspiracy cult. So it's basically a group, a conspiracy group. A conspiracy is a group of one or more people planning something against somebody or something or a country or people. Okay, guys, we're going to call old white guy now. We need to talk to him right now. I need to talk to old white guy right now. I'm calling him right now. Old white guy coming right up. Don't forget to check his channel out. I got to save his phone number. I got to save his phone number.
How's it going?
Who the hell is this?
Who the hell is this?
How are you, my brother?
Good, good, good. What are you doing up so late at night?
No, it is still 9 o'clock.
Well, I guess it's late at night for me, not for you, eh?
What are you doing so late at night?
Just talking to some people, a lot of people online, just like you.
Okay, let me look up the old. Sorry, let me go to YouTube first, and I'm gonna plug your channel real quick here while you're talking to me.
And erase my number, please.
Oh yeah, hold on. Remove. Done. Removed.
Thank
okay,
you.
Old white guy. old white guy channel. I have you saved on my thing. I don't even know why I'm looking you up like that. So here's the, I have you, I'm subscribed. So here you go, subscribed, okay? So here he is, the old white guy, guys. Check out his channel. He's got some pretty good content, especially if you are Canadian. He talks about a lot of good things. Oh my God, you have a colored video here. I didn't see the colored video. You're always in black and white.
Oh, those colored ones, Mike, are my tutorial. You know, maybe I should be a little more, I should diversify.
I like the one with the, you see the colors of the flag behind you. Looks really nice.
Well, those ones are only in color because just give me something to do so my strikes are removed.
How many strikes are you at right now? You have 1 strike or 2 strikes?
No, I have 2 strikes on my main channel.
Okay. What channel is this I'm on? Oh, you have the Rumpelstiltskin channel too, right?
Yeah, but I'm on Old White Guy. Oh, you're probably looking at Rumpelstiltskin, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm on Old White Guy. Another Mosque Bites the Dust, and yeah, Lost Wheel, Sorry Joe, starting a channel 77, and then
yeah, that's her color.
Yeah, that's in color. So tell us, I want to know your feedback on this, buddy. I'm gonna pull up the article again. John A. MacDonald statue gets taken down in Victoria. What are your feelings about this?
I think it's disgusting. It's just to me, it's another pathetic attempt by liberal Canadians to try to emulate the social justice warriors in America, removing statues and try to erase our history. What are you going to erase, John? Take him off the $10 bill next, or what?
Yeah, he's on the $10 bill. I would mention that. Do you know that John A. MacDonald worked his butt off to unite Canada through the railroad?
That's right, and he gets lots of guff about how he treated Aboriginals and Chinese people. You know, but what everyone seems to forget, he was just a man of his time.
Yes.
It wasn't like he was different than anyone else or anyone else around him thought any different about Chinese people and such. Am I not wrong there?
No. So you're not wrong at all. But my question to you is, why, old white man? I want to ask you this: why are people not looking through things through a historical lens anymore?
Gosh, I don't know. I think this whole digital world we have now is kind of has a lot to do with that, right? Who reads books anymore? You know what? Do your kids come home with homework at all? Well, they're still little guys, eh?
Yeah.
My friends got sons that are like 12, 13 and stuff, and they don't come home with homework. I had homework when I was that age. Did you not?
I did. I got tons of homework.
Yeah, they don't get homework nowadays. It's all part and parcel with what they're learning. You know, I was reading that article about how in Hungary they're getting rid of all liberal arts and gender studies programs in the university, and the reasons they cite are, well, we're not paying universities to teach students useless things that will be of no good to the country because there's no need for these things in a job market.
Right.
Can you make it any clearer than that, eh?
What about Harvard starting up a degree or a course where learning different gender studies?
Different gender studies.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what to say that stuff, man. I mean, those are the kind of things you kind of learn as you grow up. You know, I know you watch me. I don't agree with any of these things. I imagine your kids go to Catholic school, so they don't have to learn those kind of things, do they?
No. Well, my kids are still 3 and 2, right? So 4 and 2.
Yeah,
so,
but yeah. You're gonna send them to parochial school when they go to school, are you not?
Well, where I live, there's no Catholic school, so.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a private school in town up on the hill that I'll send them to.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
It's been a long time since I've been through marriage.
Yeah. So now, tell people what your channel is about. I know you like humiliating Justin Trudeau. But before you tell us, I want you to talk about his socks.
Oh, come on now. I think the people that watch your channel and the people that watch my channel, I think we're probably quite a bit different of an audience. If you want to watch my channel, I do curse sometimes, not as much as I used to. But most of my content, as Mike said, it's political commentary as it comes to Canada. Yeah, I do make fun of Justin Trudeau, and I do have a sock puppet that looks just like him.
Yeah, I saw it here.
But I'm also very, very hard on these so-called conservatives, because if you watch my channel, you'll come to realize there's only one party in Canada, and when people talk about we're going to have this other party, this and that, the one party in Canada will never, ever allow an actual kind of nationalist or populist party to ever get a start in this country, ever. You know, I was watching Wilson today make her video, Michelle Rempel. She made this video talking about, well, when the Conservatives get elected, we're not going to repeal the carbon tax. We're going to table our bill to try to repeal it, and we're going to try to talk to the Americans to close the third party safe country loophole. Yeah, so that's the big promise. They're going to try. Okay, so we're going to table this bill. Well, Justin Trudeau and his Liberals, Jacob Singh and the NDP, they're all voting no to that, so the carbon tax stays. Oh, sorry, Canadians, we tried hard.
Yeah, they tried, but they. I wanted to ask you this. I've been wanting to ask you this. I've been wanting to comment on your one of your videos and ask you this question. So I'm just going to ask you it right now. What do you think of this open border policy that Canada has right now with the U.S.?
Well, you know, I'm waiting for it to work both ways, Mike. Did you ever see it going both ways? When we've had enough here and we want to start running across, do you think the Americans are going to let these people start running back and forth and committing crimes?
No, they won't.
No, they won't. So the deal for Canada now is so they can run across the border illegally, right? And you know this, as soon as they get here, they can pick up their phone and go, okay, I'm in. Come on over. Go get grandma, grandpa, uncle, auntie. And present yourself at the Canadian border and say, yeah, I'm with Ahmed there, and they'll let you in.
Wow. So how does that make?
That's what they're doing right now, right?
Does that? How does that make you feel? Do you feel that it's all anti-Trump people that are against Donald Trump that are running up here, or is it people?
No, it's not. It's a free for all. They're refugees. Well, how do they afford a plane ticket from Nigeria and such to come to America and then pay the bus ticket or whoever they got to pay to go up to Roxham Road?
Exactly.
Permanent illegal border crossing where there's a permanent structure and such now, and apparently now they're going there. Then they go to Cornwall, and from Cornwall they get bused to Toronto hotels. So now this hotel thing is going to be like a permanent deal.
So
like North Canadians, I have no problem with people that want to come here. No way, man. We want you here. But I have a friend that came from Cuba that took a year and a half to get here. And he had to have money. And he had to do lots of damn things before he could get here. He had just to present himself and say, yeah, give me some money and let me in. That's not fair. And how are we going to pay for them? Auto industry in Ontario is going to be defunct soon enough. So how are we going to pay for them? How are we going to pay for them?
So, okay, I have a question to ask you, okay? I read an article about 2-3 weeks ago that Toronto's getting so overfilled with people coming from the... Now, here's the deal. When you see a lot of the footage of the people coming over, a lot of them have Gucci bags and cell phones, and they're well-dressed, and they're like in high-end clothing and stuff coming across.
They're better dressed than I am. They're better dressed than I am.
Okay, my question is, Toronto has been so overtaken with hotels and stuff. They're moving it to London, Ontario hotels now.
Oh, is that right? I didn't see that.
I read the article. The London mayor was very upset because they have so much, they want to help out with this crisis, but they don't have... Yeah, they don't have enough room in their hotels and in their, their emergency shelters.
Well, Mike, you know what's coming, just like they did in Germany and Sweden. No, we're going to need your house. We're going to need your garage there. How many extra rooms do you have in your house?
Oh, no, I'm not going to go there. Forget it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pop out more kids.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know what to say. I look at how they're running across the border now. Okay, so that's all happening next to the biggest population in Canada, but they're all too busy looking at the golden boy. Look, his hair is so golden, and he's doing stuff for us. He's getting rid of the sexual deviancy in our schools. I don't know why that was there. And we're going to have bucket beer, and maybe we're going to save a dime a liter in gas. No, never mind that border stuff. Look, his hair's so golden.
We're talking about Golden Boy, Mr. Trudeau?
Doug Ford.
Oh, Doug Ford. Okay. Golden Boy.
He's doing stuff for his province, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while everyone's distracted with that, they're all running across the border. Kind of reminds me about last year when it was John McCallum that had the door open and all the so-called Syrians were coming here.
Hey.
You know, I made a video just the other day. You referenced it there about the mosques being closed. It was almost a year ago that I made an exact same video where it was in Toronto, the Canada Revenue Agency, with CSIS and the RCMP took away the charitable status for that Toronto Jammy Mosque.
Okay.
And I went into more detail on that about the customs agent the revenue agent that did it. And look, now they do it again in the summer. And I suspect it's for the same reason, because all the Liberal MPs that could get a whiff of them doing this and squash it, well, they're all gone for summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this is and I've gone on about this a few times. This is the Canadian civil servants that are fulfilling their function and they're doing their job. Just like when people tell me, "Oh, you can't get a PAL" and all that, and I always tell people, "Yes, you can."
Yeah.
This rhetoric from the Liberal government about firearms and stuff—that's all it is. It's rhetoric.
Okay, hold on. People watching.
The bureaucracy hasn't changed yet.
Of course not. Okay, people watching from Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. PAL is a gun license, right?
It's a possession and license. So in Canada, you need that to acquire a firearm and ammunition.
Okay, because people watching this might not. What do they mean by PAL? What's he talking about? So
yeah, okay, well, that's it. I understand that. So in Canada, all you need is have no criminal record or beating your wife or like that for a couple of years, right? And then you get a picture taken, you fill out the appropriate paperwork, you send it in, and 3 months later your PAL comes back. And that's it. That's all it is. There is no nothing else in there. And in this country, they give you that exemption about a certain religion can be exempt for having their picture on this license. Well, the rest of us have to have our picture on it to show who we are, right?
Yeah. But
that's
yeah.
all worse than Canada, and you can still get it. But people think, oh no, the government's cracked it down. No, they're not. They just don't want you to apply for it. It costs $60 only, and that's it. You gotta pay whatever you pay to get your photo taken to go with it, and it costs a $60 fee. That's it, and it comes 3 months later for everybody, unless you're a criminal.
I got your video up here in the background playing. I'm not sure if you're watching my channel right now, of your Great Canadian Wall.
Well, I have 3 of those. I actually made those for another YouTuber, for Derek, because he was making a video and he was asking for 30-second ones, right? I made a couple of 30-second ones, and then I made that one with the bales. I'm
watching the Great Canadian Wall here behind me, guys, with Old White Man. So let me ask you, what part of Europe are you originally from?
I'm from Newcastle upon Tyne.
Where's that?
In England. The north. In England, I'm what you would call a Geordie.
A Geordie?
Yeah. Geordie.
When did you immigrate to Canada?
Oh, I was like 6.
Okay, so you came with your parents. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And I
could read and write when I got here, and they immediately put me back a couple of grades, because in North America, you go to school according to your age.
That's correct.
You know, in Portugal, I would expect if you would be the same as England and everywhere else in Europe. You start school when you're 4 and you're finished when you're 16, not 18.
Yeah, 16 or I think 15. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Whose boat is that? Is that your boat?
That's one of my wreck boats.
Oh, I see a yacht here in the background.
Yeah, that's a 1946 Constellation, a Chris Constellation.
It's
it's
nice.
Made of, it's made of teak and mahogany that's unavailable anymore.
Oh.
So I make furniture out of that. I sell some of that wood to other people because we have Lake Winnipeg here. So I sell some boats, some of that wood to some people that have older boats like that.
Okay.
Because it's refurbished, right? Refurbished and reused. You know? And it doesn't rot. That one doesn't rot. I had one like that a couple years ago, and then we had a big party and we burnt it up. Gave it a good send off.
Nice, a send off, eh?
Well, it was kind of an ignominious fate. I think it was going to go to the dump, and we had a big party, and I gave a nice little speech about. I'm sure this boat gave many people pleasure throughout the years, and we all had a good party, and we burnt her up.
Nice. I wish I was there to see that send off.
Well, you would have enjoyed it, man. And afterwards in our yard, it looked like a 32-foot iron had put an imprint in my yard.
Now,
it was awesome, man. It was just awesome, eh?
So let me ask you.
Something to be said about living in the bush.
Living in the bush, you're free until they start taking away your rights to live. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you.
Try to put a meter on my well.
Are you? Oh, they're trying to put a meter on your well?
No, not yet. But I said until they try to.
Oh, okay. You're scaring the crap out of me when you said that.
Me too.
Yeah, you scared the crap out of me when you said that because I thought you were actually being honest.
Oh gosh, no.
Okay, so now let me ask you something. Where's Canada headed right now? What do you see? You have a lot more, I guess, wisdom and knowledge of what's going on around you. You've lived longer. You kind of understand.
Do you really want me to answer this?
Well, as PG as possible, PG and non-discriminative.
Well, I won't do those cursing. I'm not going to curse on your program. Honestly, I think we're past the point here in Canada now. It's gone too far. I don't see, unless something really drastic happens. It's like on the world stage now, we're effectively loners, right?
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau has wants to side with Iran, with his little brother against.
Yeah.
I guess against the rest of the world. He doesn't care about Canadians. And as I said many times, Canadians got their heads up their butt. And Kevin O'Leary said the same thing. People are going to ignore it until they can't ignore it. And they'll be unable to ignore it once their job is gone. And, Canadians were the cheapest people on the planet. But people in Iceland and Scotland claim we're the cheapest ones. And once people's pockets are empty, then they're all going to start going, hey, something's wrong here. Someone should do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're past the point because Islam is being taught in our schools. Mm-hmm. Canadians just want to pretend that it's not a threat. And honestly, I don't see how you can pretend that when all you have to do is look around the world and see what Islam is all about. How can you pretend it's not going to change? There are no post-Islamic countries in this world.
Mm-hmm. So you think? So basically, Canada, from my point of view, is more of an economic point of view.
Well, we're going to suffer greatly.
And my economic point of view is from the housing market, and the Canadian proper that's lived and worked all his life living in Canada. And Canadian proper is anyone that's come from anywhere in the world to make Canada a better place. And those people who can't basically afford to even buy a house in their own country.
Yep. There was a time in this country where the minimum wage earner, and it wasn't that long ago, a minimum wage earner could still buy a home. I mean, it wouldn't be a great home, but it would be your home.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's ridiculous. I mean, kids nowadays, like, I don't know if my son will ever be able to buy a home of his own. I don't know, man. Same for my girls. I don't see it happening. It's a tough nut to crack, and the homes that are available for them, like you live in the city, they stink, and they're not worth the money. They just don't want to move out here, eh?
Mm-hmm. So
there's a lot to be said for living far from the city, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I moved several hours away from Vancouver, right?
Yep.
And I couldn't handle living in Vancouver. Bad driving. Everybody's this is my opinion. So everyone's always mad. Everyone's in debt. It's just a big problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a nice little community. I like Merritt. And that's way farther out. When you get closer, I didn't mind Abbotsford. It's a nice little community too. Like
Abbotsford is okay, but it's become very violent.
Has it really?
Yeah, Abbotsford, Chilliwack, the crime rate's going up like crazy there.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, buddy. It's just bad elements. Anywhere when cities start getting bigger, you always get the element that come in, right?
That's true. In Canada, it used to be like when I was a young man, and I guess to a certain extent it still is. the quest was always to go west, eh?
Yeah, the quest to go west.
Every Canadian young man always wants to go to Vancouver at some point in their life for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I always wanted to go. I lived in Vancouver. I spent, 13 years there, and I said it was enough. It was more than enough. I see that Vancouver 20 years ago was a great place to live. 30 years ago was even better.
Yeah,
oh,
it
yeah.
was.
It was a
I can
nice...
afford to live there now.
It was a nice seafront city. It was by the Pacific Ocean. It was quiet. There wasn't so many towers. There wasn't a lot of condos. There was a lot of beautiful communities and people working together and block parties. And that's all gone now, you know?
If someone invaded Canada tomorrow, nobody would help us.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you remember that? I don't know if you saw the video, but one of the videos I put up the other day was, why is Canada isolated in an economic world platform? Do you think Canada is becoming more and more isolated with the problems with Saudi Arabia, problems with Europe, problems with Trump?
Well, the whole problem is this government we have. Yeah, we are becoming isolated because no one wants to trade with someone that says, well, that would be like if I came in your store, right, and you didn't want to sell me something because you didn't like the shirt I was wearing. You said, or I came in with the Trump hat. You said, well, you can't shop here because, you know, you're wearing a Trump shirt. No one wants to do business with a country that's telling them what they can and can't do, and we're not going to. How is that part of a trade deal? How I think about LGBTQ and such.
No, it's
the price of anything.
Yeah, it's LBGTQWX pedophilia. I think P.
Extra large fry and to go. Yeah, I know, man. And once again, like I always say, how is any of this deviant sexual behavior laws compatible with Islam?
That's a good question.
I never seem to hear anyone ever ask that question besides myself. How's that going to happen? We saw what happened in Toronto when that school was trying to, that school that's full of Muslims that was trying to say no LGBTQ flag here. They quickly dropped that. It didn't work like they wanted. You know, it's Islam. They will try again.
Yeah.
Till they get their way. This whole Saudi thing is to make us bend the knee. And bend the knee, Trudeau and Canada will. You watch and see.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a gift for us.
Yep.
Get out and don't come back.
Yep.
What are we going to do? We only buy 80,000 barrels of oil from Saudi Arabia. We sell like 3 million barrels a day to America. So with 80,000 a day from Saudi, take it and stuff it up your butts.
Yeah,
get out of here. Get out of your country.
Good. It could be.
How's that going to work with our real Prime Minister, Omar Alendra? He's the real Prime Minister of Canada, buddy.
Yeah, but Canada could cut off the water because Canada exports a lot of water too, right?
Yeah, that's all we've got for now.
but okay.
We're not going to do nothing. We're not going to do nothing, Mike. You know it.
I know it. So, what do you think of that Michigan school that has after school Satan? I have it here. I'll bring up the article. I want to ask you. I'll get the article. After school Satan class.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. After school Satan locations. Here we go. Find a club for after school Satan. After school Satan club. After school Satan Wikipedia. Here we go.
What's that?
After school Satan this is from Wikipedia, okay? After school Satan is an after school program project of the Satanic Temple of the America political activist religious organization based in Salem, Massachusetts, and is sponsored by Reason Alliance, a nonprofit organization. It's created as an alternative to Christian-based schools after-school groups like the Good News Club. The after-school Satan cities across the U.S., including Atlanta, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Pensacola, Washington, Tucson, Springfield, Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon.
Wow. Well, I don't see that getting much legs in Michigan, being it's pretty much a Muslim nation, that state now, is it not?
I don't know. I haven't been to Michigan in a long time. I used to go.
I'd be more worried about how Michigan and parts of Southern Ontario all start hooking up and they all become a big Muslim hangout all together. Windsor, now you're seeing London.
Yeah, London. Yeah.
Across the bridge, it's Muslim Michigan, where they were trying to get the Muslim governor, man.
Oh wow! I see. I don't know much about the whole East Coast and what's happening there, to be very frank with you. But this.
Well, Toronto's gonna burn first in Canada, and that's where the rest of Canada.
Well, the housing crash is gonna go down. The housing crash is gonna happen first in Toronto. You're having a condo crash right now, and housing is going below record levels right now. And you're going to start seeing a lot of people defaulting on their homes. You're going to see a lot of people defaulting. Yep. And then what's going to... Yeah. And you're going to see that's what's going to happen first. And then you're going to have the great Toronto blame game on the GTA blame game. Who are they going to blame for this, right? Are they going to blame the banks? Are they going to blame the government? Are they going to blame foreign investors from China? Who do they blame, right?
They're going to blame Doug Ford. They're going to blame Doug Ford and Ontarian people for voting for Doug Ford. Somehow it's going to be Doug Ford's fault. Everyone in Ontario, this is all Doug Ford's fault. Watch and see. I said this before. Everyone's happy they got Doug Ford, but the federal government's not going to be happy that Ontario is trying to break away and be normal again. No. That doesn't go with the Liberal agenda here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I totally hear you.
That's what's going to happen. So you think Trudeau cares about NAFTA? No. So Ontario's auto sector's gone. All right. So
what does that mean? What does that mean right now if the auto sector goes? How big of a dependency is the auto sector in Ontario? I remember growing up as a kid, it was a big deal till NAFTA.
It's still a big deal. Trump just said recently in a tweet that goes, "Yeah, man, they gotta wait, and if they're Canada's what we want is our demands are ridiculous." And he said, Trump just said, "We're just going to tax their cars. So you're American, you're going to pay a 25%, 30% tax on a car you're buying from Canada? No, you're not.
No.
So you're the auto company in Toronto and stuff. You know, like the big one there in Oxford and stuff, big Ford plants. Are you going to stay there? When Trump's going to say, come over here. I'm going to cut you big tax breaks, and we're going to cut all the regulations I cut, so your cars don't have to be so stringent, environmentally stringent anymore. Come on back here to Detroit. We want you. We love you here. We got all kinds of people waiting to work." And they're going to be like, "Yeah, okay, see you later, Justin. Salut."
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I think that's.
And they're never going to come back, ever.
And you think so? Yeah, you think that the auto sector? You think the auto sector would be wiped in Ontario? Do you feel it, or what are you feeling about that?
I think it's going to be wiped out there. Okay, I talked to Derek, and he works at such a plant. Like he's a maintenance guy, right? And the HVAC guy, and he said a lot of the people on the line and stuff, lots of them are leaving. So they're already getting jobs while they still can.
Wow.
So the ones with skills are leaving where they can get another job in another industry because they know it's coming.
Wow.
So people just think, "Oh, what's that mean?" Well, you know what that means. That's a big loss to whatever community they're in. First of all, that plant is gone, so there's the big tax loss, and all the salaries and all the other businesses that thrive off these
that thrive. Yeah, because remember those are private sector jobs, so they're really good.
Right.
Yeah.
They chased all the private sector jobs away. What kind of company's going to want to come to Canada to do business in this ridiculous environment?
Yeah.
Nobody. We're stuck with this useless pipeline that he bought that's buried. That's going to be good for nothing. They're talking about $1.9 billion in overruns before a shovel's even got in the ground. And the government, the government isn't in the business of building pipelines. That's when you hire people to do it. But who are we going to hire now? Nobody. So regardless, if we can all say whatever we want, I figured we got about 5 to 10 years of severe poverty coming our way in Canada, man. Do you think all these new Canadians are going to be grateful when they got nothing? Do you think Canadians are going to be happy when they got to pay $20 or $30 for a crappy head of iceberg lettuce, if you can even get it? Or you be like Trudeau and Catherine McKenna and go, "We don't need American farmers. We just go to the grocery store."
Yeah, but do you see a loaf of bread going to $10, buddy?
Well, I make my own bread, but yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening, man, and people just don't want to look and see it. Oh, they go, that would never happen here. That could never happen here in Canada. No, this is Canada.
But you know, that's
that. We conditioned our whole life to think that we're the good guy, peacekeeping country.
Wait.
There's lots of evil in this world.
Hold on a sec. Didn't they say that about the Titanic? It can never sink.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Canada does lots of evil. Those quantum computers come from your neck of the woods there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. Most Canadians don't know that stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
Canada does lots of dirty stuff. I liked your story when you talked about. You were talking about was it Wilfrid Laurier? What he did in Africa? No, was it Laurier? It slipped my mind now. It was a Diefenbaker. I think it was Laurier. You said that had a big to do with Rhodesia back in the day.
Okay.
It was Canada that said no, we don't want to do either. Who was the Prime Minister then? I think it was Laurier.
The guy on the $5 bill?
Yeah, I think it was him. I think it was him back then. I could be wrong. I'm trying hard to remember that now. But I remember you talking about it, and I talked about it earlier too.
Yeah.
People think Canada, we're such a good country, but Canada was against Rhodesia becoming a free country.
Oh yeah, Canada just follows mainly what the U.S. did for many years, right?
And Britain.
And the UK. Yeah, we still have a Governor General here, right, and all that stuff.
Yep.
We still have somebody
the Queen's still on our money.
And there's somebody that represents the Queen here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
and
think.
You know what makes me laugh about Canadians the most is Canadians always think when you say the Crown, they think it means us, but it means the Canadian government.
No, it does not mean no.
I know, but Canadians think it means it just means the Canadian government.
It means zero.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
It means zero. But go back on this. I want to talk about the auto sector one more, just really quick. I thought that back in the late mid '90s, when the NAFTA agreement came into place, we lost a lot of our automotive jobs to Mexico. I thought that's when I thought that's when our automotive industry pretty much died off. But
it did. That's what happened. Then it was another 10 years or so later. And they started duking out. Mexico started duking out with America about cars, and Canada got up here now. I think first all we did was parts and such, and then certain cars. I don't understand what's going on with this stupid government at all, other than to drive us into the poorhouse, man.
But my question is, okay, the John A. MacDonald statue gets taken down.
That's disgusting.
Okay, my question is, okay, and I asked this to Hiroshi at the beginning of the show. Asked him the same question about this. Then, are you trying to tell me now that the English language, because the English were colonists, we should remove the English language from Canada?
Yeah, well, there's lots of things like that with these things that these liberals do that just don't make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have. They want to have their cake and eat it too, right?
I
was reading a good article today about women again still whining now because in the business sector, like CEO-wise, I mean, big business, because now men won't take meetings with them unless there's someone else there. They don't get invited to dinners and schmoozing kind of meetings, the kind of things you need to do in advance because of the whole hashtag Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a man, whether you can't just trust women to say nothing happened, it's like the whole Mike Pence thing. Well, Mike Pence, if I don't go out doing things with women alone, then that can never be accused of any wrongdoing. So now women aren't happy with that either. So if you're a man, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And,
okay. Let's take this. Okay, let's take 2 steps back. So what you're trying to tell me is men don't want to go to a meeting alone with a woman, so they want to be there with somebody so that if the woman accuses the man of something?
Yep.
Holy Max!
And women are complaining about that now. right? And I can't remember where I read it, but so like a lot of women said, well, this is kind of happening. They don't want to come out and say that they fucked themselves, right? But that's what it is. Just like how they did with the whole transgender thing. Oh, if they put a bisexual, how can you have a bisexual if there's more than one? If it's bisexual, you mean there's only two sexes? Oh no, my head's gonna explode.
No, I think what we're gonna have to do for you, we're gonna have to send you down to Harvard to take the multi-gender course. We'll do a GoFundMe thing. We'll raise $60,000 to send you to Harvard. And,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we'll send you down to Harvard for 4 years so you could come back and give us this information.
This country is so divided at the moment. You know, this is true.
So people joining our show right now, I got old white guy here. Here's a little clip of his channel. This is him talking there. Old white guy gets into very controversial discussions on his channel. Religious discussion, political discussion. Stuff that I normally don't talk on my channel. Old white guy does that, and he's been striked. How many times have you been striked down, buddy?
Oh, a couple now.
Yeah.
I'm on the ropes now till September. I can't live stream on my main channel. I'm on BitChute. I'm on mine.
Yeah.
After what they did to Alex Jones, it's only a matter of time, I guess. You know, I don't know why they didn't take him off Twitter, but they took Dr. Ron Paul off Twitter. Come on. Are you kidding me?
No, the midterm elections are coming in the U.S. They got to get rid of him.
Got to get rid of stuff, yeah. And Trump's picking the winners anyway.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what happens here in Canada with our upcoming elections. I'm sure lots of our taxpayers' dollar will be pumping the Liberals and get Trudeau going. Like, look how many things have happened that Canadians just let go by. No one talks about the $7 billion slush fund that the Liberals stole. No, we don't talk about that money no more. Why?
That's a lot. That's a lot of cake.
We don't talk about the $39 billion that the infrastructure bank got. We don't talk about that no more either. Why?
That's a lot of cake. That's a lot of cake.
That's a lot of money, man. It speaks siphoned out of Canada like a fucking giant Hoover that's over our country sucking the money out of it.
But do you ever watch the Mario Desetti's channel, The Lost Canuck?
I've watched it a couple times.
Okay, well, he talks about disappearing pensions and pensions bailing out banks.
Yes. Well, look at that home equity, that home capital group. Who bailed them out? It wasn't just Warren Buffett. They took a big bunch of money from Ontario healthcare workers' pension.
That's right, Ontario healthcare workers. And wasn't it school teachers too?
I don't think they got the school teachers' money. Maybe. And you know who gives these guys the money? Oh, some pension fund manager, right?
Yeah.
Here he has the money, and he gets his commission no matter what.
Okay, can I ask, what about the Sears clawing back on their pensions too?
That's disgusting. I know what he's supposed to do. They're just going to take it. People don't realize that about unfunded liability, man. It's not that hard to understand. People just don't get it. I mean, we live so much longer nowadays. How much can you expect, other than if you're a government worker or an elected official, how can you expect to retire now? Those guys just work a few years and then they're pensioned off for life. You know what I say to people now? Is, our government doesn't work, and I agree your vote really doesn't matter. But you know when your vote can matter at a federal or municipal level is when you got a really crappy first term one in there. Vote them out so you can stop them from getting that pension for life. That's your chance to save yourself a little bit of money.
So now,
that's the truth.
So can I ask the average Canadian who's in their 30s to 50s? Okay, let me ask you this question. From the average Canadian that's 30 to 50, could they afford to be 85 nowadays?
I don't think so. Where's the money going to come from?
Yeah. Who could afford to be 85 anymore?
You're talking about an average Canadian, not a professional, a career professional. I don't see it happening, man. I don't believe we're going to have a pension.
I'm not even going.
I don't think there'll be any kind of government pension awaiting me. And first of all, I probably don't even think I would take it to begin with. There's money that's available to me in my province because of my age. I don't take that because any can take money from the government. You take your money that the government stole from other people by gunpoint. That's gunpoint. Taxation is theft. I don't care how people want to try to justify it. Nothing, because it's not my money. That's just money they stole from someone else to give to me. I hate that free stuff and entitlements. I have a big problem with that.
Okay.
I have a big problem with our stupid health care and trying to explain to people how taxed we are in this country. I've been here smart enough to understand that people that go, oh, I pay taxes. What, off your payroll, you idiot? The people who pay the most taxes in this country are like everywhere else, are the wealthy, not you payroll tax-paying morons.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't understand that. Oh, well, they complain about taxes and that, but most Canadians don't understand that. Every dime you spend in this country is taxed.
Yep. From gasoline to every liter of gas you drop in your car to every time you buy anything, you're taxed.
Yeah, and then you're taxed on that, and the stores you're buying it off of, well, they get taxed on that too.
You know, most of the wars that were sparked, and most of the wars that happened, and most of the conflicts that happened was over taxation.
Was over taxation, unfair taxation, taxation without representation. The representation we have stinks. Like, you know, that Michelle Rempel, that MP there, she says, don't be afraid to leave comments. Yeah, we're going to leave comments, but you blocked your comments, Michelle Rempel.
Yeah, it's
you
like
blocked them and banned. There's no dissenting here.
Yeah, it's like swear.
Are you an MP or are you a YouTuber?
Yeah, exactly. It's like swearing at someone through tinted windows.
That's a good analogy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to leave your comments. Do it, say whatever you want. Yeah, because I'm not going to read them anyway. She's a globalist. She's a globalist shill. She's Canada's rep at the International Union for Parliaments, right? So that's who goes there. She's Michelle Rempel. And where's that? Oh, it's in Geneva, where all the evil in the world stems from, and where all the evil keeps their money.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true, you know it.
So I want to ask, so where do you see Canada headed? Okay, so if people, I'm going to get back to the last question. If people, so a lot of people in the comment section are commenting right now saying, oh, I don't think I could retire when I'm 67 or 70. No. I'm not asking if you could retire at 67. I'm asking if you could afford to be 85 years old.
Yeah.
That's the question. That's the question. Retiring at 85 or 65, or sorry, 75, whatever. But could you afford to be 75? That is the question. Not retire at 75. Afford to be 75.
Afford to live, yeah.
Period.
I don't see it happening, man. The things are just going from bad to worse in this country. The whole thing is people don't understand Islam here. They don't see it. They don't see the threat, and that's the biggest problem that we face here in Canada. People just don't want to believe. They don't want to see. They want to believe it's not like that. Oh no, that's not true. Even though they know all the things that happens with Islam. No, not in Canada though. There's no honor killings in Canada. Yes, there is. Oh no, you're just a racist. That's not happening here in Canada. Canadians don't listen to the people that fled Islamic countries. They don't listen to people here that fled communist countries.
So
no, you're just racist and haters.
But yeah, for asking asking a question. My question. Let me ask you this one. Do you follow Stefan Molyneux?
Sometimes I do.
You know, he was.
I'm not down with all his Aristotelian theories. You know, like he's a big Aristotle guy and materialistic. I listen to some of his stuff. I prefer that if he is such a big brain, why doesn't he put to use talking about Canada?
Yeah, that's a good question. Getting Canada.
He hardly ever talks about Canada, man, and he's a Canadian.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that one. So this is it, guys. If you're just joining us right now, I'm with Old White Man here on the channel here, Mike in the Night, with some controversial talk on what's happening in Canada. Don't forget to check out his channel.
It's not for children. My channel is not for children.
It's not for children.
Don't watch my channel if your kids are in the room or anything like that, because there will be some cursing, and if you're not very conservative, I wouldn't watch my channel either.
So,
but I don't lie. I don't tell lies.
Yeah, he doesn't tell lies, guys. He doesn't.
You could try to catch me in a lie. Many have tried, and everybody fails.
And
once in a blue moon, I'm wrong, and I come on and perform an act of contrition.
yeah,
But,
so you stand up.
That's
Yeah.
very seldom I am. Don't lie. I'm not making stories up. You know, I'm just telling it like it is. You don't have to believe it. I also tell people you're welcome to. Don't just call me names. You're welcome to disprove what I said.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Nobody's wrecked me yet.
Yeah, or prove you wrong. Prove you wrong.
I'm waiting to be wrecked, but no one's done it yet.
Well, yeah, that's a good rhyme, by the way. So
I enjoy wrecking people, but not anymore, man. It's kind of pointless. People that want to watch disingenuous presenters, you're not going to dissuade them. I could do it anyway.
So if you're just joining us right now, guys, we have so everyone in the comment section is saying if you're not healthy or bad diet, you won't live to reach 70. No, guys, I'm not talking about reaching a certain age. I'm talking about if you do reach 70 or you do reach 60, can you afford to be 65? Can you afford to be 70?
Yeah.
Can you afford to be 80?
To live?
Yeah.
Can you afford to pay your bills?
I'm not talking about life expectancy.
Medicine if you need medicine. Will you be able to go to the store?
I'm not talking about life expectancy. I'm talking about can you afford to be an 85-year-old person if you are 85 and alive?
I don't know, man.
That's my question. So
I tell all my subscribers all the time, the best thing you can do for yourself in this country is stay healthy, man. Don't get sick. Watch what you eat.
Yeah.
Try to stay healthy. Take care of yourself. The worst thing you do is to get sick here. You have to go to the hospital. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And that's a sore spot for me, too. Oh, our healthcare sucks. It's getting paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars we pay every year, 45% of our earnings every year in taxes. Boy, that requires a pretty good health plan, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Tens of thousands.
You got good quality care. Not know if you're lucky if the good doctor was there today.
You know where I found good quality care when I was traveling? In Cuba.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that too. That's what they always hold up. That's what the socialists always hold up. Oh, look at Cuba. Free dentists, free healthcare.
Yeah, but Cuba is pretty good. Cuba's pretty good. Okay, so guys, if you're just joining us in the show, Mike in the Night here with Old White Guy. Protesters gather as Sir John A. Macdonald's statue is removed from Victoria City Hall. I am very, very displeased with this, and you see all these people standing there with their arms crossed, really peed off, and they want the statue removed.
It's shameful.
It's shameful. A piece of history. The man on our $10 bill is being removed from history. A man who basically shaped Canada, unified the railroad from coast to coast. You know, basically...
He's the one that fought for the Dominion of Canada.
That's right. And a lot of people won't be standing there if it wasn't for him.
It's disgusting. It's just, as I said, he was a man of the time. That's the thing about a rag on about their slave owners. Yes, because they were men of their time.
Yeah. What happened to the historical lens to look at things through a historical lens to see why things they were at the time?
They don't want to. They want to look at things through the political correct lens of today. Wow. Come on, man. So now we're going to erase history to make it fit, right?
Oh, somebody just commented in the comment section, history is his story.
Whatever.
No, history stands for his story. Basically, whatever you want it to be, right?
It's the victor that writes it.
Oh, it's always the victors that write. We know that. So, yeah. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to get you on the show once, a couple of times. I do Mike in the Night on the odd Saturday. I get a lot of people watching on playback. So I get a lot of...
I wouldn't be much of a guest if it was a real estate night, I'll tell you that.
No, Mike in the Night is not really real estate night. It's more, we discuss things like this.
I see you wearing a blazer there. You like to talk shit.
I actually look respectable, eh?
Yeah, you do. You look like you're losing weight, too.
You know what? I got to take this off before I leave my office because someone might take me seriously.
No, you look like you're losing weight. I noticed that. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm feeling good.
It's it's a tough nut to crack. Yeah, you feel better, eh?
Yeah, I feel great. I lost a bit of weight. I've been, I just been more active and sleeping less.
Yeah, see, that's the key, man. And not eating before you go to bed, eh?
Yeah,
and when you get older, that's the toughest thing is don't eat before you go to bed because it doesn't help you.
Well, our metabolism slows down, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm pretty active and like I live in the bush type of thing, so there's certain things I have to do. Physical exercise is just part of my daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't envision myself ever living near a city again. My stress level goes up.
Oh, I'll never live. You know what? We're gonna do a show.
I can smell it.
Oh yeah. In a week or two, I'm gonna do a show again. We're gonna maybe talk about leaving the city and the benefits, the pros and cons about leaving the big city, and like you did and like I did, and maybe we could do a show about that.
Well, I enjoyed that one you had about talking about the stupid rents. Because the people are being chased out and then come out to the interior. Well, there's nowhere to live.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to live, and where there is to live, you got to pay stupid money, and you want to see your kid's report card. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe when you said that. I want to see your kid's report card before I rent this place to you.
Yeah, that was the story I read, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I want to see your children's report cards before we give you an apartment.
That's just crazy, man.
Yep.
Here's a story I'll tell you. My friend was visiting his sister. She lives there in Smithers, okay?
Smithers, BC, yes?
Yeah, and he said he's never been around. He said he's from here. He's a young guy, and he's never experienced those social justice warriorism, right? Until he was in Smithers. And he said they had like signs on the side of the road and stuff. But here's the thing. Telling me he bought his dog, right? And he was out walking his dog, and he was like disciplining his dog for doing something. And he said some lady was giving him a hard time. Some lady with purple hair to match her little dog's purple tail. And he said she was filming him and said, "I'm going to report you for being cruel to your dog."
Oh my goodness!
And I said, well, you live in BC, man. That's the land of crazy ass hippies.
Yeah, you could say that for some people.
And drunken Green Party MP Elizabeth May.
Yes.
I know. BC hasn't changed from when I was a kid. It's still full of hippies, but now they're old crazy hippies. And they don't care what happens to the country because they're going to be dead soon, right? So it doesn't matter to them.
But can I ask a question? Like, what is the whole purpose of all this crap that's happening? What is the end result?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't see it. You can talk about all this replacement stuff and the whole Kalergi crap. And I honestly don't know, man. But we are being phased out here. You can't deny it. Diversity is just another word for non-white. So this country, this government is going to force all the Canadians here to pay for people to come here that don't like us, don't want to be here. All they want to do is take us over. And as I said, the way Canada is now, we could be invaded tomorrow. Who's going to save us? What about the big Chinese contingent that's up in the North Pole doing whatever they're doing up there?
Yeah.
What are they getting ready to come down here? Because who's going to stop us?
Nobody. That's right.
If America came up and invaded us, we would welcome them. I mean, even to a certain extent, the Chinese, I would expect, because then Islam will have no place in Canada then.
Mm-hmm. No, but if the United States comes up, I mean, do you think Canada's better off being taken over by the U.S. right now, the way things are headed, or do you think if China came...
I'd welcome it. I'd welcome it. Alberta would go back to work. Saskatchewan would go back to work. And we have no more crime problems from First Nations crybabies. Give me money, give me money, give me money. You would stop my grandparents every generation. They say that. There'd be no more of that. There'd be no more Islamic problems. There'd be none of that. We wouldn't be getting taxed like crazy anymore. That would all be over. We'd have a golden age in Canada.
So you'd basically be on the side of the road giving flowers to all the soldiers as they walk by.
You're damn right, son. I'd be making coffee for them.
Good. Okay, old white guy. I want to thank you for being on the show. Here's his channel. So if you want very personally, very incorrect, very correct, very political, very straightforward, straight shooter. Check out Old White Guy. He's got an open mind about everything, and he's not scared to say what it's like. I want to thank you for coming on the show. We'll do a show in a few weeks, and I want to talk about leaving the big city, you know?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I had a great time. I'm glad I decided to cough it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out next time. I'd have to come back on again. It was great. It was interesting as hell.
I'm going to save your phone number, and I'll call you ahead of time and prepare you.
Sure.
And we'll keep in touch, okay?
Yeah, for sure, buddy.
Have yourself a good night. God bless you.
Yeah, same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, guys, that was Old White Guy in Manitoba. That's a Manitoba phone number, so I hope he's in Manitoba. And he has his channel. He's very straight shooter when it comes to religion, when it comes to politics, when it comes to... I guess he just wants to see the best for Canada. He wants the best for what Canada could... Because 20, 30 years ago, it's just like Australia. Even Australia and the UK, 20, 30 years ago, all you had to do was work and you'd get everything. I mean, everything. 10 years of work, you already have your house paid off, your vehicles, and you'd be buying a summer home. 20 years of work, you'd be putting your kids through school, no student loans, and buying a boat. You know? So, Walking Journeys in the comments. Anon's here from Australia, and then I got to get Anon on the show. Anon, I need your phone number, buddy. I got to call you, get you on the show, or you got to call me. I'll give you my number and get you on the show. You comment a lot on my channel. Mia Nino, I got to get her on the show too. I think, Mia, if you want to come down on the show, if you want to be on the show, let me know. I got Walking Journey already on the show. Anon says Skype. I think I could use Skype, but, you know, I like to have different guests on from different parts of the world because we need to know what's going on when it comes to whether it's real estate, whether it's taking down statues. Man, we could start a whole taking down statue show and taking down channel show. I mean, as long as we could be as politically correct. Old White Man's got a few strikes on his channel, and he's trying to be, you know, I keep telling him to be very vague with certain things so he doesn't have these problems, because he's got a beautiful mind, and we need people like him to tell us these things, to tell us stories. A lot of the history and things he talks about are very important, because if we don't pass this to the next generation, we'll lose it, right? And we can't lose a lot of this knowledge, because a lot of this knowledge is experience. And you can't pass down experience or mistakes or stuff people did in their life. You can't read that through a book. You need someone to tell you this stuff, you know? You need someone to sit you down and you know, set you through, you know what I'm saying? Or put you through, you know? So, okay, or Ventrilo. Okay, Ventrilo. I want to get something for my phone, a good app for my phone that I could use, guys. That could, that could potentially, get multiple guests on talking. I'm going to try and get Nick Green on the show on Wednesday in Trends in the Housing Market. I'm going to try and get Steve the Plumber here to my house. He's visiting in Vancouver. And someone's telling me, why not using a gamer's voice platform? Yeah, there's a gamer's voice thing. And you can talk to like a bunch of people at the exact same time. That's another thing we could do. But I like to have people one-on-one too, just asking them questions. And so people in the... could ask questions too in the comment sections, which is really good. So... You know, so, Old White Guy, like I said, talks about things that I normally don't talk too much. I try to stay away from the political thing as much as possible. I try to stay away from the, religion thing as much as possible. It's not that, I'm not really an expert in those fields. I'm more of an expert in when it comes to housing prices, doing comparables, calculating someone's TDS, understanding dips and flips in the market. I've been playing the stock market for 22 years now. I'm 40. I started when I was 18 playing the stock market. I follow trends in the futures market, gold market, oil, spot gold. I do other things, you know, specific other things. I'm not that good at it, but I made a decent living at it for me to live, you know, and provide a decent life for me and my family, right? Yeah, 3 to 4 people is good on the Gamers Voice platform. But yeah, if you want to be on the show, guys, let me know. You know, I got Walking Journey on today. I got Hiroshi on today. I got Old White Guy on today. So I'll get a few people on the show next week too on Wednesday discussing. I got some huge undisclosed guest who's actually running for a huge position in the province of BC. And I want to keep him in the dark for now because I don't want him to ruin his political chances, if you want to say it that way. So, Walking Journey, meet Old White Guy. Old White Guy is in the comment section. Walking Journey, I want you to watch a couple of his videos. He talks a lot about the stuff you do on your channel. Walking Journey is from Conroe, Texas. Me and him have been friends for many years. I talk to him in Spanish a lot. He's one of the very few guys that I speak to in Spanish fluently to keep my Spanish language going so I don't forget it. Revive the True is in the comment section. He's got an M3 logo there. He's saying, hey, Mike, just found your channel from the message to Stefan Molyneux video. Could you offer some thoughts and opinions and predictions about BTC and crypto market situations? Thank you. I talked about a bit about the crypto markets dipping right now. I'm just going to be really frank with you guys. The whole crypto market thing isn't a tangible thing for me. Yes, it's real. It exists. Yes, it is the way of the future. Yes, it's the way things will be headed. Yes. No question about it. I'm more of a tangible, like gold, silver, physical, gold stacking, silver stacking. I'm more into the buying shares in companies and actually owning the shares in the companies and going to shareholder meetings. Different markets, you know, housing market and stuff like that. The whole Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency thing, I think, is in a very infancy stage right now. I do believe that it will be the way of the future. I do believe that cryptocurrency will dominate. I do believe that cryptocurrency will become a one world currency. Eventually. I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetimes. I just think it's a great idea. A non-manipulative idea where things don't get manipulated. I think it's a fantastic idea where it's impossible to be hacked. I think it's a great idea where it's the way we're headed in the future. But I think it's just in a very infant stage right now, cryptocurrency. I think once you start seeing more acceptance of it at every corner store, at every mechanic shop, hot dog stand, and you start getting more people start getting apps to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment, I think then will you see the crypto takeover. Crypto takeover is way too early. Like I said, I think if you give it to 2050, 2055, yes, it will dominate our financial lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Someone's commenting saying, my Bitcoin transfers don't go through. Anyone know why? Well, hopefully somebody in the comments could... So, Flat Earth Mage is saying, first they came for Alex Jones, crypto will go out like a light. Yeah, I mean, who's to say they don't flip the switch, right, guys? I mean, I don't want that to happen. I want us to progress as human beings. I want us to become more adept to what's happening around us. I really want us to, you know, to become, I want the human species to continue, you know? So someone says you should watch the movie Anon 2018. You should watch the movie 2018. Really great tech production quality. It is a bit of productive programming propaganda. Great to watch nonetheless. Oh, the movie's Anon, or the guy? Or you're mentioning Anon? Quantum computers have already made encryption, etc. obsolete. It already happened. So there's a lot of debates about cryptocurrency in the comment section. I should get crypto markets on the show to maybe help us help educate myself more about cryptocurrencies, because I'm not afraid to tell people when I don't know something or I don't understand something. I know how blockchain works. I understand the whole. Theoretically, I get it. I get what they're trying to do with it. I get it. Maybe a more in-depth discussion. Maybe if Revive the True. Oh, the movie's called Anon. Okay. Okay, I'll take a look at it for sure. Revive the True. Maybe I could have him on my show talking about crypto markets and what he thinks is happening. I could call him up. Anyways... After school, Satan. Yeah, that's where things are headed. Guys, before I kick off, before I leave, there's a movie on... I always recommend a movie once in a while. I recommended last time the movie Pacific Heights with Michael Keaton. A lot of people got back to me and said, I saw Pacific Heights today for the first time. Man, it was amazing, Mike. Thank you for showing me. So, guys, if you haven't seen... Pacific Heights, I'll put it up here. It's called Pacific Heights. Pacific Heights. Here it is. I really recommend you watch this movie. It's with Michael Keaton, and he becomes a tenant in Brooklyn, or I think that's Manhattan area there, of some couple that buy a place and have a rental suite. I really recommend you guys watch this movie. That's the movie I recommended last time. I had a lot of people write back to me and say they saw the movie. It was just phenomenal. So now today I want to recommend a really good movie, a little bit more funnier. And if you haven't seen Brewster's Millions, I really recommend you watch this one. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It is on Netflix, and that's why I'm saying it. It's on Netflix. Type in Brewster's Millions. I love these guys, Richard Pryor and John Candy. Really good duo in this movie. Probably one of the better movies I've seen when it comes to finance. So, if you haven't seen Brewster's Millions, please watch Brewster's Millions. It's on Netflix. Watch it tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend. Good movie recommendation. And Flat Earth may just say, I recommend Pump Up the Volume. Yes, I've seen Pump Up the Volume with, God, what was his name? God, I'm trying to remember his name. Christian Slater, right? I think it was Christian Slater. I think it was. Starred in that movie. I'm not too sure. But a really good one. But guys, Brewster's Millions, please watch it. If I recommend a movie, I promise you, it's got a really bad rating on IMDb, but I don't care what IMDb thinks or says. But really good cast. Oh, Stephen Collins is in this. Decent lineup here. But anyways, guys, I am getting tired. It's been a long day. I've been on the air for 2 hours. Oh, somebody left a torrent there for us to download. So I will see the movie Anon. I'll check it out. And guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And Mike in the Night. I want to have more different variety of guests on the show. I want to have someone on from the left, a leftist, somebody from the left who is pro taking down the John A. MacDonald statue, somebody who is pro, you know, what this stuff is going on the left. I like a pro figure to come on and kind of explain to us their point of views on why they think it's a good thing to take down a statue, or why it's a good thing to take down the Alex Jones show, or why it's a good thing to take down, you know, certain things. I would like to know. Anyways, guys, Brewster's Millions, watch it. It's a great movie. I am going to go to sleep. Hopefully, Anon, you can email me. Anon, you got find my email or message me through my Facebook fan page. And you could call me, or maybe I could figure something out, a way you could call me. Anybody that wants to be on the show, I want to have more open lines on Mike in the Night. And we could have more Mike in the Night going on Saturday nights. AKA Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon in Australia. So Anon does not do Facebook. So find a way to message me on my channel. Get a hold of me, and then we could get a good show going on, and you could give us some boots in the ground analogy on what's happening. You got some really good feedback when it comes to the real estate down in Australia. I'd like to know from you what is happening down there. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to hit the hay. Okay, so Revive the True says Google Voice offers free VoIP phone service. Okay. Alright, so free but no cost. I'm going to see if I can get something on my phone so I can call Australia and New Zealand so I could find out. I got somebody that wants to be on my show that was got tickets for the Stefan Molyneux show in New Zealand and didn't get to go. So he wants to be on the show, so I could get him on the show and ask him what happened that day, what was going on. So, yeah, it'd be nice. Okay, guys, I know I've said this 50 times. Good night. God bless. Godspeed. I love you guys. Big hug. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon with my next video tomorrow sometime.